the Waltons, won't be seen tonight, so we can bring you a very special episode of the Gen X Files. Welcome to the Gen X Files. I'm Jim.
I'm Adam.
And today it's another
For the Stepdads.
with your dirty old stepdads.
Yeah. Love hurts.
Damn, it does.
Love hurts.
Love does hurt, Adam. This is Valentine's week.
It is.
You know, I completely did not know that it was Valentine's Day yesterday. I did not know.
Oh, yeah.
There were no real... When you don't have cable or satellite,
Yeah.
and you get to pick and choose the YouTubes you watch on your TVs, it's easy to miss these kind of things. And,
Yeah.
I think it was like 10 or 11 last night. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's.
Valentine's. Yeah, Phoebe and I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because it is a made-up holiday designed by people to have you buy stuff and give it away to people.
Yeah, they said that the average person spends about $200 on Valentine's Day.
You and I spent $0, so...
It's true.
Although Phoebe did give me some heart-shaped candy, which I was like... We're not getting anything for each other. Like that
So
was
you got
the
really
point.
mad?
Yeah, and then I threw it across the room.
Wow, I heard that. It was
pretty
scary. I had to call the
late last
cops.
night. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, so this is, it's been a great month. I'm really looking forward to next week with Fatal Attraction.
Oh, man.
But this month has been great with Play Misty for Me and Presumed Innocent.
Got to see our tough guys. Not so tough.
Yeah,
You
being
know?
the little...
I mean, but it's like, it's fun to see guys like Harrison Ford and Clint Eastwood
Yeah.
do a different turn, play
Yeah.
somebody that's not got a gun,
Right.
throwing people off planes, jumping off of dams into water, swinging whips,
Swinging whips. Yeah.
punching
I mean,
orangutans.
it was really interesting. I really think that in Presumed Innocent, it was a side of Harrison Ford that I had never seen up to that point. Like the scene where it kind of is revealed that he like slept with her and that he was obsessed with her. It's so understated and it's so brilliant.
Yeah. No, he's great. It's films like this. I think one of his greatest performances is in Mosquito Coast.
Yeah.
Which we'll definitely do.
Yeah, we'll cover
when
at some
we do,
point. Yeah.
lesser known Fords.
When we do our insect titled month.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. The Fly,
Mosquito Coast.
Butterflies
and,
are free.
Arachnophobia.
Butterflies are free.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a movie with Goldie Hawn, based on a play. I think I was in that play.
Oh, yeah?
It's based on a play. Goldie Hawn was in it, and it's about a blind guy and Goldie Hawn and
Wow.
and butterflies that are free.
Well, you really sold it. That sounds great.
Yeah, it was one of her first movies, actually.
Well, we might as well cover the movie that literally no one's heard of. That's great. Yeah, I'm just kidding. It's
Butterfly.
It's a butterfly. Yeah. It's
a bug.
And I heard they're free. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
This is turning into a really bad morning radio. Yeah, I heard they're free.
Hey.
Got the butterflies. Anyway, it's
Butterfries.
50 butterfries.
I love me some butterfries.
Oh, get that butter on those fries. It's 57 degrees here at 8:15 at KCDD.
Got to make sure you pick up your butterfries at the Iowa State Fair.
Always double D at KCDD.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, I love, man.
Yeah.
I love. I've been hurt. You've been hurt. We've all been hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Don't really want to go into it.
The last time I got hurt, I was single for like 3 years, and it was, and then I got into another bad relationship. But
I know.
it did. Oh, I know, you know. But that last one, I'd never really dealt with someone like that before, and she was a doozy.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I think it's been. I've dated a few people since the last biggin.
Yeah.
But it's been a few years.
Yeah.
And I am happy. And this is something that really, I don't know, it kind of bothers me. I get it, but it bothers me.
Yeah.
Like everybody has their own thing, their own rights, their own, everybody's like, hey, be this, be proud. Be this, be proud.
Right.
But if you're single,
Yeah.
I'm so, there's somebody for everybody.
Yeah.
You'll find
but that's
somebody.
that's changing.
I wish it would change faster because
I know.
I can't tell you how many times I've spoken with people and, hey, look, their heart's in the right place. I get it. Oh, people in love
I
want
know.
everybody to be in love. I've been there, and
Sure.
I've been that obnoxious, horrible, in love, Cupid, craptacular.
Right.
Oh, come on, man. Love is so great. And it is great. Look, love is awesome. Let's be honest. If it's a healthy, great relationship, nothing better than having a good partner to go through life with.
I got 5 years in one right now. That's still really good.
Hey, you guys are a good model. It's nice to have a good representation of a relationship around me.
Because we're not pushing you or anything.
No.
I mean,
You guys are great.
yeah.
No, not at all. I don't think Phoebe's ever said anything to me about like you need a girlfriend.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to push that on anybody. She knows the truth. Like, oh God, I'm not pushing that. No way. But I am truly happy being single.
Right.
I like being single. I'm not lonely.
Yeah.
I don't feel alone. I don't feel there's something missing from me. Mm-hmm. But I also don't I don't believe in love. Love is for jerks. I don't believe that either.
Right.
I believe I can hold two thoughts in my head at the same time, Adam.
Nuance? That's crazy.
And there's an article that more and more people are choosing to be single these days. And it's so much tougher for women than men. I was watching this article. No, not an article. It was on the Daily Show.
Yeah.
And I think it was when Chelsea Handler was hosting, and she is well, she's in relationships, but she's definitely not going to have kids, which is something that you and I agree upon.
Yes,
it's a whole different Megillah. Of and as a guy, it's like, oh, whatever, you're single, whatever, But they still are just like, oh, but you got to find somebody. You're going to find somebody one day, and that's great. If I do, awesome, neat.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Then I'm there. I'm not closed off to anything, but I'm not searching for. It's like relationships is like religion with me, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for anything in particular. It's not something that's missing from my life. It's just not something that I'm searching for.
Yeah.
I'm very happy the way I am. I'm very, maybe I'm content or in a rut. Who knows? But I know that in my previous relationships, the big uns, most of the big uns, I had one pretty good one. It's not good for me.
Yeah.
I'm not good. I'm good for the other person.
Right.
But, I have a tendency to subconsciously pick very damaged people because damaged people pick damaged people.
Yeah.
And, so I'm a little gun shy and about that kind of stuff. But it's also, as time has gone on and I've reflected on the last big relationship, which, was basically just a midlife crisis, if you want to be honest.
She was a little bit younger, yeah.
Look, I truly was in love with her. I thought I was, I
mean,
all of the women that I've been with,
you were in love with
I
her.
was in love with, you know. And here's the thing for all of you sad sacks out there. It doesn't matter if the other person was in love with you. It doesn't matter if they tricked you or whatever. Your feelings are your feelings.
Right.
Never be ashamed of loving somebody, even if you've been hurt and even if you've been betrayed, even if you've just been made a sucker. And I've been made a sucker, It doesn't discount the fact that you had the capacity to love and you loved that person.
Right.
And never feel shame about that. Never feel shame about it. Maybe reflect upon the people that you're dating if they're if it's not healthy, which it wasn't for me.
No.
And now that I'm in a healthier place, I think, mentally, this year has been really good for me. I've kind of I started out the year by cleaning out my closet and doing those kind of representative things of the cobwebs of life. And I've had kind of a different attitude lately, just of wanting to be happy, Yeah. Why am I always mad at myself? Why am I always unsatisfied? Why am I always this and that and the other? And what's the point?
Yeah.
Just be happy and try the best that you can. That's all you can do in life.
That last, not the last one, but the one that was really bad for me. That literally after her and I had ended things, I had people calling me up asking me if I was okay.
Oh yeah,
because she said some really nasty things about me around, spread a lot of lies.
Yeah, online.
It was bad. But what I realized after that is that I needed to be happy being alone.
Yep.
And I was, and I learned that it's like, you know what, it's fine. And I've had a couple of relationships since then, and I did backslide a bit before Phoebe, but I realized what I needed to correct, And, it works. Like,
Good.
it works. Yeah. I mean, that's really it. If you're not going to be happy being alone, then you're not going to be happy in a relationship because there's something else that it needs to be fixed.
I see you guys. I see my sister and Daryl. They're a great couple.
Mm-hmm.
Been together 20-something years. And I see my mom
Oh,
and
yeah.
Paul, and they're great and great for each other. And they really they all making themselves.
Yeah.
They all make each other happy in that
Yeah.
group. And they make me happy too. So,
my parents are coming up on their 50th anniversary.
and they're great. I love your parents.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be hard. It'll always be hard. But, like, at the end of the day, that person's there, I mean, there's something there that...
It shouldn't be so hard.
I mean, it's not always.
No, but what I'm saying is,
yeah.
like, we make it hard, I think.
Yes.
I
I agree.
I think as somebody outside of things and kind of look in, maybe sometimes people should take a vacation apart.
Yeah.
Or maybe sometimes, it's just when you get to the point where you're driving each other crazy or whatever, take some time apart and reassess and realize what you care about each other and come back together and take a break. That's okay. I think there's so much insecurity that we have about relationships and we don't want to love more than we're loved. And we don't want to care more than the other person cares.
Oh, yeah. The person that loves more is always the one that gets hurt.
Exactly. It's a competition.
Yeah.
But that's all BS. That's all just manufactured BS.
Yeah.
That we've seen in TV shows and movies and commercials. And it's your relationship is your relationship. There is no self-help book. There is no one group of rules that's going to make you have a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Every relationship is different. There's snowflakes, Adam.
Yeah, you're different from everybody else. Every relationship is different. You can't treat the same relationship. The relationship you have now is different from the one you had before.
Exactly.
At the end of the day. And it's not,
And the only thing that you can control is yourself and the way that you react in the relationship and what you decide to participate in and what you decide to bring to it.
Yeah.
And if you're coming at it open and with love and respect and admiration, then it's good. But if you're coming at it with jealousy and and insecurity and
that's all. Those are hallmarks of people that are not willing to actually communicate with their partner and discuss these things because they're afraid that if they do, then it will end, which always just makes it end anyway.
Man,
but on the counter side of that, because I have always gone into every relationship being very open and very I look at somebody when I'm dating somebody. To me, that's the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, because that's how I feel right now. Mm-hmm. And that might change. Granted, that has bit me in the ass because that's what happened with the really crazy one. I was like, this is how I look at things. Sure. And within a week, she was sending me engagement ring photos. And I was like, that's not what I meant.
No, I get it. It's
but she had never dealt with somebody that was that open before
right.
and that willing to be like, yes, I'm going to lay it all out,
Yeah. I mean, the same thing kind of happened to me with the first one, the sociopath, she moved in pretty quick. I'm like a I'm like a stereotypical lesbian when it comes to move in with
just
your cats,
immediately.
We're moving in right away. But I mean, I move way fast. I mean, I figure if I'm in love, I'm in love, and and I'm there. But that's just not smart because you do have to think.
Yeah.
I mean, there were so many red flags leading up to this.
Yeah.
And I was so gaslit by the first one that I didn't know what was up or down.
Right.
I wasn't seeing any friends.
That's
they had
crazy.
completely isolated me.
Wow.
And because they were so damaged and needed so much care constantly that there was no room for anything else.
Yeah.
Or anyone else.
Well, I mean, you're willing to accept them for who they are. And a lot of times these damaged people have never had that before.
Exactly.
So they're like, well, I got to hold on as tight as I can. Because if he even looks at somebody wrong, he might leave, and that's it.
It's a novelty, though, because it starts off like that.
Sure,
it starts off like, oh, wow, this person's treating me great, and with respect and love and all this stuff. And then it's like, it gets to the point where, well, that person's a chump. I'm going to make a chump out of that idiot for doing this.
These things that you thought was for me loving you is now going to punish you and make you realize just what you've gotten into.
Exactly. But that said, I am just as culpable getting in that relationship, because I have those issues too. I am a damaged human being, and I need to I needed to acknowledge that. And, as you get older, the funny thing is there was a long period of time where like all the stuff that I went through, I pretty much just ignored or,
Yeah. Yeah.
But as I get older, it comes back. And you think about how it shaped your life. And you think about, real tragedy and horrific things that happened to you. I was 3 when it started, right?
Yeah.
And that's a very developmental.
Yeah.
That is a very significant age for your mental development.
It's very impressionable. Yeah.
Very much so. And my dad dying on my 3rd birthday really effed me up.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you see the patterns and the things that you've done because of the things that happened.
Right.
And it's like one of those beautiful mind moments where everything's like, and you're like, oh my God, it all makes sense right now. I am effed up.
Yeah.
But, but not in like a irrevocable way or in a sad way. Like all of the stuff that I went through made me who I am.
Yeah.
It made me a pretty funny guy. I don't think I would be as funny if I didn't go through the tragedy. I mean, you can argue whether I'm funny or not, but over my lifetime, I've been described as a funny man. Sure. And I have a very quick, my mind goes to the joke.
Yeah.
It's a tick. It's a defense mechanism that I started as a young man. When I was a little boy, I found out if I could make people laugh, I could diffuse situations.
Right.
And it was a huge power. It's like the power of laughter when you're a child is pretty much the only power you have. Like, if you can make a grown-up laugh, it's like...
That's palpable.
It's like
immediately ooh, I have this power.
I remember coming in and doing my Tom Jones impersonation, like 5 for my parents and all their friends, It was just like... So, because of that, it's not even conscious. It's just I have to stop myself from automatically making some joke or something, because that's how my mind is. Same. So I have to train my mind to skip over the joke and not be a complete jerk.
I understand.
Sometimes I can't.
There's so many times when I have to stop myself and be like, "That is inappropriate, Adam. Don't say that."
I wish I had your restraint. But anyway, I mean, look, love hurts.
Yes.
But let's be honest. All of us that are like, oh, sad sacky sacks. A lot of times you got to look at yourself. It takes 2 to tango. And, if you're always in a bad relationship, look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You got something going on that's putting you there, subconsciously or consciously.
Yeah.
You don't have to be in bad relationships.
You have to have respect for yourself and be willing to be alone. I mean, that's really at the end of the day.
Yeah, here's some really tough love from your old stepdads. If it's not good now, it's not going to get better later. And if it's in the beginning of a relationship, which is supposed to be all smooches and cuddles,
honeymoon period,
yeah, exactly. And if it's already bad, it is not going to get better.
It's so going to get worse.
And moving in together, getting married, having children, these are not
going to
solutions
fix the problems.
to problems. These are bigger problems that you're compounding.
Layering on extra problems.
This is basically saying, I am going to force this dysfunction upon myself for the rest of my life because I'm going to have a desperation baby to try to save this relationship. Look, if you're unhappy, you're unhappy. I know it's so scary.
Yeah.
For some people to be alone. And it's so scary to admit that you made a mistake. I mean, that's the hardest thing, I think, when love makes fools of us all because it's akin to mental illness. Yeah. It's a chemical reaction, and the dopamine and the serotonin in the brain creates a completely different plane of existence almost.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that, love is just a chemical reaction. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying part of love is a chemical reaction. Sure. And we do dumb things.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just just take it slow, people. There's time.
I've had plenty of friends, and I don't know. I'm going to say I maybe was one of those people for a while, but that guy that's always like, when they're in a relationship, it's like I don't really want to hang out with them because they become very different people.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think there's an issue with being alone.
No. Well, I was a very different person because, the relationships were so toxic.
Yeah.
And of course, at least with the first one, people were just like, you got to get him the way, it was almost like an intervention. But yeah, I mean, don't be afraid of being alone. And here's another thing. Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Don't be an incel. Don't blame women for you not being able to
I mean, that's...
get a date.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to talk to people.
Communication is the key.
Learn how to tell a joke or two. And most importantly, learn how to listen.
Yeah.
Listen to people. Ask questions. If you want to talk to somebody, okay, this is advice from your old pal Jimbo. I used to date a lot. And I wasn't like a playa or like, using lines and pickup lines and that kind of crap. Sure. I talked to people. I listened to them. I genuinely was interested in what they had to say. Yeah. Ask follow-up questions. People love to talk about themselves.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a shy, nervous guy, just ask questions.
Yeah.
So, where are you from?
Yeah.
Where do you work? What's your dreams?
Yeah. Because then eventually you'll find something that you guys have in common, and then you can talk about that.
Do you want to see my subterranean hideout?
Yes, I do.
It's fun.
I've always wanted to get one of those. That's crazy.
Oh, man. Speaking of that, been watching, they rebooted Criminal Minds.
They rebooted it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, not rebooted it. They just brought it back.
I guess I never realized it was gone.
It's gone for a few years.
Is it like on a different network now?
It's on Paramount Plus.
Oh, so
I don't know if it's on the network because they say
CBS.
the F word.
No, then no, it's not.
Because sometimes they do
say the F word on CBS.
No. On some shows they bleep it out or blank it out.
Yeah.
For subsequent,
I think even that would be too much for CBS.
Yeah, CBS is pretty. It's good though. It's real good.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a subterranean torture chamber.
There was a subterranean torture chamber.
Of course there was.
All right.
But yeah, so Valentine's Day. If you're in love, awesome. If you're not, don't sweat it.
Yeah.
If you want to, also get offline. Get off the apps.
Yeah.
Get off the swiping. If you really want to meet somebody, go to the grocery store. Go to the gym. Take a walk.
Get involved in your community. You'll find people that like the stuff you do.
Or get involved. Like if you like Star Wars, find a Star Wars trivia night in your local bar. If you like Disney, find some Disney club or something around your area. Yeah. Find like-minded people that like your stuff. You're going to be so much happier. If so many people are like, oh, I need this beautiful, certain trophy of a person.
Yeah.
It's an object. Yeah. This is the object I want to be with, not the human I want to be with. You're going to be so much happier if you're with somebody that shares your interests. If you love Star Wars and they hate Star Wars, it ain't going to work.
It might, but probably not.
It might. It's like, if you're a sci-fi nerd and they hate sci-fi, it's not going to be fun.
Well, but here's the thing. So Phoebe's not a huge fan of sci-fi, but I really like sci-fi. Mm-hmm. And she's willing to watch stuff with me and has found certain stories that connect with her.
Right.
But she's willing to do it because she knows I enjoy them.
And she knows you have good taste. And, it's.
And I turn around and I'm more than happy to watch the stuff that makes her happy.
Pitch Perfect. Pitch Perfect.
Yeah. That one took a while.
You're an idiot. Pitch Perfect is awesome.
Okay.
I'm with Phoebe on this one.
No, it's people singing. People singing without instruments is the devil.
They are the instruments, Adam.
No. Oh, God.
Here we go.
Can you hear me slowly cocking the gun?
I think you're a secret acapella head.
Love hurts.
I think you wish you could sing acapella, and that's why.
I will say, though, I finally watched them with her and you, and I had a good time.
They're fun movies.
I had a good time watching them.
That's what's great.
I don't ever need to see them again.
Sure.
But I had a good time.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between being open-minded and sharing the things with the person. You don't have to be super fans and both be exactly the same person. But if you're diametrically opposed, if the person you're with hates what you love, it's going to make it difficult.
If you come up to someone that you're dating and say, I want to go do this makes me happy, and they say no, you need to end things.
I had, with my good relationship, we had a Star Wars room in our apartment.
Oh, wow.
Our office, we called it the Star Wars room because we both love Star Wars so much. And we, put up posters and stuff, and, and one Halloween it was just her and I, and she dressed up as Princess Leia and I as Han Solo, and it was like, we had so much fun. She, at the time she loved video games. It was a perfect relationship until it wasn't. But
sure,
it was the happiest I'd been, I think. You know, it was probably the healthiest relationship until, all the issues came floating to the top. The both of our, not just her issues, but both of ours.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
Look, opposites do attract. But the person at least has to have respect for your passion.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes. Of course.
I could not. It would be very hard for me to date somebody who hates video games, who thinks they're the stupidest wasted. And there's people out there, and I get it.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm not a huge sports fan, so I get like people. But I wouldn't be like, oh, don't ever watch sports.
Right. Exactly.
But it's tough. You just respect the other person's.
Yeah.
Just respect their interests and respect what they do, and don't be dismissive or a jerk about it.
Just talk about it. Be like, well, do I have to sit down and watch this stuff with you? No. Okay, great. Then you go do your thing. I'm going to go over here and do my thing.
Yep.
I mean, like, okay. Like, it's not the end of the world.
No.
It's just talking.
It's okay, too, to do things separately.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
I have an uncle and aunt in Colorado, and they always take a family vacation every year, but they also she does a girls' week where her and all her girlfriends go out, and they travel, like, to Bali or whatever. He usually goes to concerts around the country, but he spends a week just going around. They do their own thing. And
it's great.
Works perfectly.
Sure. And there's some couples that don't need that. My mom and Paul, they love being together all the time.
Exactly.
And it's great. And that's what works for them. And what works for you. Don't ever compare your relationship to another relationship.
No.
Don't ever judge yourself. Don't ever judge your partner.
Yeah.
There's so many easy little tips and tricks.
Yeah.
To having a healthy and enjoyable relationship. There are people that have been together for 50 or 60 years that are still happy.
Look at Jimmy and Rosalind Carter.
Yeah.
Been together for 77 years.
Joe and Jill Biden have been together for a while.
At least 50 years.
Well, not
longer.
50. Well,
no, that's right. She was the second.
His first wife was killed. But,
but they've been together for a long time.
Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. I mean, they're such a great couple. Donald Trump and Melania Trump. I mean, there's no greater example of love.
Yeah.
When he tries to hold her hand.
You can see it in her eyes and her face.
Yes, you can. Well, you could have before the surgery, but it was there.
You're really, at the end of the day, you're right. It comes to being open and being willing to listen, because there's definitely been times where Phoebe and I have had fights.
Sure.
But like, it comes down to, she comes to me and says, I don't like how this happened. And I go, I didn't realize that was an issue. I will work on it. Yeah. Or the other way. Sure. It's just, you have to sit and listen and understand that they are a person and that you can make it work.
Everybody's going to get mad, and it's 9 times out of 10 not even about that person.
Yeah.
It's about something inside, and that thing drives you crazy for some sort of trigger that you have about something that's so deep down in your psyche that you don't even know what it is.
Right.
That's how screwed up we all are.
And definitely, if you feel like you need to get out, then get out.
Yeah. Don't drag your feet on that, because especially if it's an abusive relationship, and abuse isn't physical always. It's also mental. And if somebody is gaslighting you, or if somebody's constantly berating you, or if somebody's trying to possess you, get a friend, get the hell out.
Yeah.
And if it's just a matter of being
even if it's
unhappy,
not that extreme,
it can also be you've grown apart.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Things change.
Yeah.
Like, time happens.
If you don't want to be around that person all the time, then don't.
Then you need to discuss with them why that is.
Or you need to break up with them. It's just not fair. All these people, I've never understood the trope of the put upon husband who hates his wife, or the wife that hates her lazy husband and puts up with this. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's funny in a sitcom.
Yeah.
But in real life, it's damaging,
sad.
Stupid.
Sad,
You're staying in something expecting an outcome that'll never happen.
Yeah.
It's magical thinking.
Yeah. My first big relationship I had, it was in college, and I dated her in college and out of college. But we dated for almost 5 years. We moved to LA together. We moved back to the Midwest together. And when it finally broke it off, like, I finally was like, okay, we're going to end this. she said to me, "Oh, yeah, when we started dating, I thought we were only going to be dating for like 6 weeks. We dated for 4.5 years."
Wow.
And I was like, well, F you for wasting 4.5 years of my life. Because I was willing to, I was like open the whole time. And no, it turns out the entire time, she's the only ex I don't talk to.
Really?
Because F her. Like, I was like, that was so cowardly of you.
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
It got me to here now. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's part of the reason why I wouldn't change that 4.5-year relationship, because if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met Phoebe. Like, I wouldn't be where I am now. So,
yeah, there's one I definitely would change. Like people are like, you would change anything in your life? And be like, I'd never change anything in my life. Maybe, F that, man. There's definitely some things I would erase.
Sure.
Because, oof.
Yeah. Well, I understand that. But I have a lot of time away from that stuff and just kind of like, okay, I get where it is and I get what it did for me.
Sure. All right, let's move on for this, Michigan.
Well, we went on for 40 minutes about that. Wow.
I'm getting on our soapboxes about how to have. The guy with the least healthiest relationships in history is telling you how to have a healthy relationship. Hey, look, physician, heal thyself.
Hey, we balance each other, man. Because I am a much better person than you.
You definitely are.
No, that's not true.
You are.
What have you been watching?
What have I been watching?
What have you been watching?
Oh, so much. I've been loving The Last of Us.
Oh, my God. So good. So good.
Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey were such great choices.
Yeah.
At first, Pedro Pascal, he's an interesting choice for Joel.
Yeah.
But he works so well, and every episode is like its own standalone movie.
Yeah, and
it's
so good.
The fifth episode was, I think, the last one that we saw.
Yeah.
With the big sniper scene.
Oh yeah,
and the bloater.
Yeah. In the bloater.
It's just done so well. It's what is great about it is it's not a zombie show. It's it's a show about humanity during the end of the world.
Yeah. And finding people that you can love.
Yeah.
And be around and like rediscovering that love is still there.
What's so funny is, so many people are getting upset. Die-hard game fan. Like, I love the game. I'm playing it.
Same.
The thing that I'm really enjoying is I'm playing through the game as I'm watching the show.
Right.
So I'm trying to kind of keep up with the show.
Yeah.
Because I got you the PS5 version. The season 1 is based upon.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to kind of play along and see the differences.
Oh, yeah.
And all the differences that they've made have only enhanced the show, have only made the show a better narrative. Yeah. And Druckmann has said that the first game is about love, and then the second game is about hate. Yeah. And they're going to be doing the second season. So I'm really curious about where they're going to go with that. But, man, like the episode with Frank where they expanded the relationship. Yeah. Amazing.
Bill and Frank.
I love their names are Bill and Frank.
Bill and Frank. Such a great episode.
But one of the best episodes of TV, one of the best portrayals of a relationship. Love is love, and that was such a great representation of somebody. The scene at the piano when they kind of come together.
Yeah.
It's some of the best acting I've ever seen Nick Offerman do.
Oh, yeah.
The vulnerability and the fear and everything that he shows, not just within that scene, but within that entire episode, is a masterclass. And then Murray Bartlett playing Frank.
Yeah.
Murray Bartlett is such a good actor. I saw him on The White Lotus, which he was just toured. Have you seen that?
No.
I think he won an Emmy for that.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Or Golden Globe. He won something because he should have. It was such a tour de force performance.
All right.
But it's also such a completely diametrically different. That's what actors do. But it was such a human performance.
Yeah.
And when I think one of my favorite moments of that episode is they're outside, and Frank's like, "Look, I want some paint. I want to make this." He wants to beautify his area instead of living in a like an encampment,
rundown cul-de-sac. Yeah.
And and he's like, he's like, but the government's not something about Nazis. And then Nick Offerman's like, the government is literally Nazis. And he's like, well, they weren't then, and it's just like, and Nick, and he's like, if you say it's not, good use of our time, I'm going to go into one of your traps and blow my brains out. And it's just, Nick Offerman is just so, he's learning, and we see him learning.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's such a nuanced performance. The episode, it's just so funny that a movie about a show about the end of the world, and it has one of the most beautiful love stories.
Yeah.
Of any show I've ever seen.
It took the world ending for Bill, Nick Offerman's character, to be able to accept the fact that he can love and be loved.
Yeah.
And that episode was so brilliant in showing that. And like this guy, this rough dude that's like
a survivalist.
He's known that he's been gay his entire life, but there was nothing he was going to do about it.
But he's also been preparing. He was a prepper, so he's
sure.
preparing for this,
but I mean, he knew he could never have love because of who he was and where he was and the way society is, and the fact that he was able to find it afterwards is brilliant and incredible. And I mean, it wouldn't fit into the video game.
No.
Because that's not what it is. That's not the medium it is.
No. It would just be like 3 hours of cutscenes.
45 minutes of them. Yeah, but that's what I love about it, is that they're actively saying, okay, well, what can we do to make this make more sense for the show?
A shot-for-shot remake of the game would be boring.
No.
Because we've seen it all.
Boring.
A game is a game.
Yeah.
You walk around, you kill people. It's still a very engrossing game. It has an amazing story. But still, it's a game. And, people who can't get over the fact that they changed some things in the game really need to seek some therapy.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad. I mean, it's different medium. Like, that's the whole point.
They're like our cat. If there's one tiny difference, like if you put a shoelace on the bed,
she freaks out.
She's like, what's this?
Yeah.
Sniffing it and bobbing her head around like it's some sort of nuclear waste. Don't be like our cat.
Yeah. Accept it for what it is.
Change.
It's really nice. It's good. I'm super excited. I don't know. I need to play the second game again because I've only played it once, and it gets very brutal. But like I'm curious to see how they handle it. I mean, that's what they do with it.
I was watching there's this, I don't know what the site is, but when I'm exercising, I'll be watching YouTube, and there's this site that does kind of these explanations of Last of Us 2 lore.
Yeah.
Like they'll go through the bow guy and like his whole story and what he did and kind of like just tell you the lore. And I've been watching a lot of that for Last of Us 2, and it is just making me ache.
Oh, yeah.
To play that game.
Again.
And also like these really great like John Wick clips of people just going to town on the bad guys with knives and guns and explosives. The way these people are able to do the combat, it's like watching an action movie. It's insane.
That's awesome.
But yeah, The Last of Us, if you haven't seen it, it's an amazing show.
It's great. Absolutely great.
Poker Face, man.
Yeah, Poker Face has been really good.
I think that Ryan Johnson somehow invaded my mind and created the exact television show that I wanted to see.
Right.
It is Columbo. It is a 70s, 80s show. It's Columbo meets the Hulk. and it could not be cast any better.
Yeah.
Natasha Lyonne, it was crafted for her. Yeah. And she is so Columbo.
She's so great.
I mean, she's even like got that. Excuse me, Sha. I mean, she's
really
just so good. I just want one more thing. I mean, I think she literally says that. But she smokes.
She always turns around and comes back.
Yes.
Like always. But that's not sitting quite right.
It's done so well. It's just such a fun show because it's got that Columbo deal where the lead isn't even in the first act of the show.
Right.
You see what happens and you see the murder, and then it kind of backtracks and you see how ham-fisted she pushed her way in. But now I'm working at an old folks home, or now I'm working at this, that. It's just so well done. It is a show created by fans of that show, and I have been wanting a show like this for so long.
Yeah, it's like, why haven't they made shows like this?
They've tried.
Yeah,
but this is like
not as successful.
Yeah, it's just this. Everything came together really well. We need a new PI show, man. We need a good PI show.
This is Poker Face. This is...
it is, but we need
she's not a PI. Yeah,
no, you know, we need like a real Magnum, not this gross reboot that apparently got saved from cancellation by another stupid network that won't let it die. But we need another Rockford Files. We need another rumpled guy who doesn't make a lot of money. You know, all my heroes growing up were broke. They always did the right thing, but they never had money.
Right.
They didn't really care about money. I mean, they wanted it, but they didn't care enough about it to actually do anything about it.
Right.
You know, they're borderline ne'er-do-wells. You know, it's like, it's no wonder I am the way that I am. It's really funny that so many of these shows were about broke MFers just kind of hitchhiking or traveling around the country helping people.
Yeah.
A-Team, the whole
wandering and helping
Kung
people.
Fu.
Yeah.
Fall Guy. Fall Guy made money, though, because he was a stunt man. he would get a stunt gig, and then something would happen on the set.
Then something happened on set.
Oh, jibber jab, he got shot.
I've only seen a couple episodes of Poker Face. I need to watch more of it, but I think I might download a couple and watch them on the plane.
Oh, you should.
When I head out.
It's like I can't wait for Thursdays now. Yeah. That's when the show's on.
Appointment TV. It's been a long time.
It really is. Also, I mentioned the Criminal Minds Evolution. It's called.
Oh, Evolution.
But it was good. I hated the name of the killer. They called him Zacharias or something. I can't stand when they do that crap. But it was a
what?
I don't know why they called him. They always come up with some like, you know. But
I don't even know what does that mean? Is it like
I don't know. It probably means something. It's probably some Greek, god of serial killing. But but yeah, Aisha Tyler's in it. She's great.
Nice.
And Joe Mantegna.
Oh yeah,
he's looking good, man. His goatee. He's
nice.
like, he's like punching dudes and stuff. He's
wow,
pretty old. Yeah. Wow. Paget Brewster.
Nice.
She's doing good.
Yeah.
Always loved Paget Brewster.
Were they in the original? Were they all in the original?
Well,
show?
It was Mandy Patinkin. Originally, it was Mandy Patinkin. I was running the
never seen a single second of Criminal Minds.
It's I love that. You know me.
I know. I know. You're all about
procedurals.
The police procedurals. Yeah.
But originally, it was Mandy Patinkin who was heading the bureau. The ABA, what is it? The abnormal behavior, whatever. And then he died, and then Joe Mantegna took over with Thomas Gibson. Thomas Gibson, as you recall, was from that sitcom. He was like the straight-laced guy, and she was the crazy lady.
Oh, Dharma and Greg?
Yes, he was Greg.
Oh my God, I can't believe I got that from that.
That was
description.
Great. But Thomas Gibson was on, and then he had some dispute with them. But Amber Heard was on it for a while, so was Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Wow.
AJ Cook, Shamar Moore. But Shamar left because he went to go do SWAT.
Oh,
and it was a mess. And Matthew Gray Gubler, who he didn't come back for this one either. I just like saying Matthew Gray Gubler because I love his name.
So I've been watching Shrinking,
yes.
which is really good with Jason Segel and Harrison Ford.
Oh, and Jessica Williams, one of my very favorite
Williams
actors.
Is great. Krista Miller's fantastic in it. Yeah.
And the show killer.
Oh yeah.
Ted McGinley.
Ted McGinley, who's apparently not killing the show.
It was a big It took them 5 days to decide, should we put McGinley in it? Is the McGinley curse over?
His character is so fantastic.
He's the greatest.
He's literally in every episode for maybe like 30 seconds.
Hey, he's just like this so phony. Like
the neighbor that's like, do I need to come out here and do something? No. All right.
All right then. Like the last episode, he was peeing outside.
It's so good. And it's funny because I realized there was a point with the daughter, Jason Segel's daughter, who's played by Lukita Maxwell.
Mm-hmm.
There was a scene with her and Harrison Ford, and I was like, oh my God, like this is the best scene she's done. Like this is amazing. And then there was a scene with Jessica Williams and Harrison Ford, and I was like, oh my God, this is the best scene that Jessica Williams has done. And then I realized it's because Harrison Ford makes actors better.
Well, because he's such a giving actor.
Oh, so amazing.
Don't get me started. I love him so much. He's my absolute favorite actor of all time. Always will be. I'm also watching 1923, which is remarkable. Seeing he and Helen Mirren together again after Mosquito Coast. Oh baby. Yeah. And they are she is fierce.
Oh, yeah?
She's a badass in this. Oh man, when she goes down with a shotgun and the guy, and it's like
Nice.
click, click, and then she's got to reload before he reloads, and then
Oh,
boom!
wow.
Don't mess. Don't you dare.
No, don't
Mess
mess
with her.
mess with the dame. You get the the end of the barrel.
They have a great chemistry. He's guy's in his 80s. He's riding horses, shooting guns, punching people, getting shot. It's a great show. It's just got like it's meaty. It's a meaty show.
All right.
And it spans the United States and Africa, and
Oh, wow.
all these things are going on at the same time, and they're all kind of coming together. And
Yeah.
it's just it's showing that things, holding on to the cowboy way,
Right, right.
as it's all fading into the distance. It's a very well done show. Makes me want to watch Yellowstone and
1888, 1883,
It's a number show.
1883.
Let's just say the Taylor Sheridan trilogy.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's great.
I went and saw Megan in the theater. High entry for worst movie I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh my God, it's bad.
Oh,
Awful bad. It's really sad because I really wanted to like it. I think the acting is doing what they can given the script. It wasn't directed terribly well. It just was really not very good.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, definitely if it's streaming at some point, which God knows it'll probably be streaming the next couple weeks, but
I'll definitely watch it.
definitely watch it. But it's just not good.
That's a shame because I did hear some people. I listened to KPPC or KCCP. I always get
It's
that.
Elias now.
Oh, it is the Elias
Yeah,
now.
they call
Weird.
it Elias 89.3 or whatever.
Is it still public radio or is it owned by Elias?
I think it's owned by Elias now.
Weird. Anyway, for anybody outside of California, I apologize.
Formerly
Los Angeles.
KPCC, yeah.
But yeah, they have movie talk, and the reviewers thought it was really fun, and kind of a silly movie, but
I really tried. It didn't really seem like it understood what it was doing. It's really weird. I had some great names in it. Actors that I really enjoy.
Allison Williams,
the dude from
Ronnie Chang.
Yes,
I love Ronnie Chang.
yeah. His character's annoying. Just
Ronnie
super
Chang
annoying.
can be brutally annoying. That's
Yeah,
his whole shtick. But
he's brutally annoying and funny, but not in this movie.
poor Ronnie Chang.
He tried. I mean, God, he tried, but like
Did the best he could.
The movie is just ridiculous.
He is so funny on the one thing
Yeah.
that I really there's a lot of things that I'm going to miss now that Trevor Noah has stepped away.
Yeah.
But he used to do these bits where he would have the correspondents come on at the beginning. They have Michael Costa. He does like stocks.
Yeah,
And Dulce Sloan will do the lottery, and Desi Leidick does something.
Yeah.
And then Roy Wood Jr. does traffic. But they have Ronnie Chang comes and does like the what's going on in social media.
Yeah.
And so they interacted with Trevor, and he would always like pull up some tweet. He's like, "Look at this stupid tweet by this idiot about this stupid thing," and they would end up, pull up
Yeah.
a Trevor Noah tweet, and it was just they were so fun together. And
Yeah.
I'm really gonna miss it. It's been fun watching. That's another thing I've been watching is I've watched the show. Chelsea Handler was
The
great.
rotating hosts, yeah.
All the hosts have been great. It was so much fun to see D.L. Hughley back. I haven't
Oh,
seen
yeah.
him in a while.
Yeah.
And
What's her name?
Wanda Sykes was hilarious.
Wanda Sykes, and then
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman, and the first guest host was
Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones. Is so funny. I was a little hesitant, but I watching her stuff. She was great.
She's always
She was
amazing.
so funny.
She used to do these great live tweets during Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
She would
yeah.
live tweet stuff, and I love her so much. I just want to see her host something. She was so
Yeah.
good at like.
Supermarket Sweep, by the way, fantastic show because she's so good on it. She's so funny.
She's just she's got such positivity and energy, and
Yeah.
she's my age, which I
Yeah.
always love young, attractive seeming people my age that are out doing
Right.
stuff. And she's just awesome.
Yeah, it's been great. I don't know how are they going to keep doing that with the Daily Show? Like
For a
is
while,
that
yeah.
until they figure out who they're going to have host.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's good. That's good. I'm curious to see who they have coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should get a woman to host this time.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's time to have a woman behind the desk. Samantha Bee would be great.
Yeah, so, especially since her show got canceled.
Yeah, she's available.
She's available.
Silverman's great.
Yeah.
She's hilarious.
She's so funny. They were great. Chelsea Handler was great. I'm not usually a huge fan of Chelsea Handler, but she was fantastic.
Over the years, she has grown on me because I didn't like her a while ago, when she kind of first came out. But man, she is so funny, and it's just ballsy. She doesn't give an F about anything.
It's great.
And it's just, she shares my views of singledom, no kids.
I also went and saw Knock at the Cabin, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh yeah, I want to see. I want to see that.
Based off a Paul Tremblay novel called The Cabin at the End of the Woods. The ending is different, so be aware. Don't read the book first.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was fine. Part of me kind of wishes I hadn't read the book because the book was okay. I wasn't a huge fan. It was fine.
Would you say the movie's better than the book?
I think it's more satisfying.
Oh.
The book, it has kind of a whimper of an ending, and I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
But I've read a bunch of articles about it because Paul Tremblay, the author, really hates what he did with it, with what Shyamalan did with it, and he's like, you defeated the whole ending of the book, and I was like, well. There was literally something that happens at the end of the book that I did not remember until I started reading articles about comparing the two, and I was like, "Well, that's a major thing that happened." So this is how much this book has made an impression on me.
That's funny.
I totally forgot this happened. So, but the movie was great though.
Dave Bautista
was great. The four that come in, Dave Bautista, Rupert Grint is really great.
Oh, yeah.
And the two ladies, I don't know their names.
The guy from Manhunter.
Manhunters, Jonathan Groff.
Is Jonathan Groff? That's his name?
Yeah. He's one of the guys.
Friend.
The little girl they adopt is really great. It's a really well done movie. Nice. I mean, it's harrowing and messed up. Phoebe really liked it. And she hadn't. So I liked it. I thought it was really interesting.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm really digging Dave Bautista, man.
Yeah.
That guy, I've said it before, I will say it again. He is the absolute best wrestler turned actor. He's a wrestler turned actor, not a wrestler turned movie star.
Right.
Or a wrestler turned
action star.
performer.
Yeah.
Well, maybe him and Andre the Giant. But I loved when Andre the Giant played that nuclear physicist in
that Bond movie?
Well, no, it was in China Syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
I think we have a problem. I think we have a problem with the nuclear reactor.
Right.
It was such a chilling performance.
It was.
But no, Dave Bautista, oh my God, he's just a really good actor.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he's like, I don't want to be, the Guardians of the Galaxy guy.
Yeah.
I want to do real acting roles. And
well, yeah, he's another guy who is your age.
Yeah.
And is very much like, I can't keep doing this to myself.
Oh, God.
Like, I can't bulk myself up for these movies every 3 years, 2 years, or whatever.
I couldn't imagine.
It's really unhealthy.
Watching Hugh Jackman, who's also my age, get back into Wolverine shape, it's just like...
I don't know why. He said... It was like 6 years ago when he was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, it's so hard on me.
Maybe he made some bad investments. Who knows? But he's probably doing it for the fans.
That bad investment was called The Ultimate Showman or whatever.
Greatest show on earth.
Greatest show on earth.
It's just, I can't, look, I exercise and it sucks. But I suppose that if I, had somebody feeding me correctly and...
Yeah, but the thing is, I read about how, did you know what Hugh Jackman eats when he's getting ready for his Wolverine roles?
Yeah.
Boiled chicken.
It's disgusting.
Literally boiled chicken.
It's disgusting.
That's it.
Let's talk a little bit about video games before we go.
Okay.
What are you playing right now?
I have mostly been playing The Witcher 3, just getting back into that. But I did discover the last couple days this interesting little top-down game called The Last Stand Aftermath.
Cool.
Which is about zombies. You're just trying to... You play volunteers, quote-unquote volunteers, people that have been infected that only have a few days to live, so they send you out to go collect supplies, put them in a car, and then after you die, they take the car back.
That seems sad.
But
sad.
It's done really well,
It looks cool.
and the setup, it's a great RPG. It looks, it's designed really well.
I'm starting to dig that top-down stuff.
Same.
Like Disco Elysium or
Yeah. Weird West.
Weird West is a
was
good
that
one.
way.
And
There's
that-
a couple others I've been looking
That
at.
cyberpunk
too.
game that we were playing.
Yeah. The Ascent.
The Ascent.
Which we need to finish.
Yeah, those are fun.
play more
I
of,
had
yeah.
to delete it because I was running out of space.
It's a great game. I mean, but it's really interesting. I've already gone through, I think, 14 volunteers. Some of them make it
bloodbath.
pretty far. Some of them die almost immediately. But it's done really well. I think I got it for like $15. I mean, it wasn't crazy expensive, little indie game, but it's super fun. Highly recommend.
There's a lot. We should start highlighting some stuff that's on sale. That's, you can get some good stuff for under $10.
Yeah.
And The Witcher 3, man.
Yeah.
I've been playing that too. It is the greatest RPG of all time,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
This is only the second time I played through it, and it's been a while, but it feels like a completely different game.
Yeah, same.
I'm making different choices. I'm going to different parts of
Yeah.
the map at different times, and it feels there's stuff that I've already gone past that I know I can't do in this run that I know I did last time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's super weird. I'm just like, there's all this stuff I didn't know was there.
Well, there's just so many hidden things to find and hidden missions. It's just, in terms of just around the corner something new, it's that and Red Dead Redemption pretty much are the best at creating open worlds. And I've been doing the N plus playthrough. I think you're doing that too, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you carry over all the stuff you got the first time you played the game.
Right.
You bring that into the second time, which makes it even more fun because you're already starting out. It was kind of a badass Witcher.
Yeah.
You're not overpowered or anything.
No. I still died a lot.
Right. But you don't have to unlock all the skill trees. You can,
Right.
all that stuff is already there for you.
That's the big thing, is the skills, yeah.
And the potions, and you have all the recipes and everything. So you can really feel like you are the Witcher.
Yeah, there's no, I gotta go find my new sword and all that, yeah.
Which I love because there needs to be more games. It kind of drives me crazy when you play a game and you're like Spider-Man or Batman or somebody.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and you start out as like a wimp.
Right.
Batman was never a wimp.
No. Or
It's-
they've come up with a way for you to lose all your powers. You gotta get them back.
Gotta get them back. It's laborious. Let's start with a badass.
Yeah.
I'd love to have an RPG that, like, all the skills and everything, you just spec at the beginning, and it's all the stuff that you get. And then it's like the clothes and
improve.
and the weapons,
stuff
and the
to
stuff.
learn
Yeah.
and improve. But
But for the most part, if you're a badass, let's start as a badass. I hate having to wait until like the last hour of a 300-hour game to feel like you're
finally doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And The Witcher wasn't like that. The Witcher was very like, you're always a Witcher, even, the first playthrough. But yeah, this is the absolute greatest RPG I've ever played.
Yeah. I'm definitely playing it more like an RPG now than before, where it was the last playthrough I was kind of a hack and slash, just kind of like, I don't need to worry about this stuff. I'll get powerful enough eventually to get through everything. But this time is a lot more strategy, and I'm really enjoying it.
And it looks so good. The new gen update
Oh my God, it's
makes
so
it
good.
look just gorgeous. So
Absolutely gorgeous.
I'm playing Last of Us, like bits and pieces. And okay, so I've also been playing Hogwarts Legacy.
Nice.
Which I picked up. My sister and my bro from another Mo, my brother-in-law, Daryl, they were sweet enough to give me a gift certificate or gift card for, they don't call them gift certificates anymore.
Nope.
They haven't for 40 years. But a gift card for Amazon. So I picked up Hogwarts Legacy. Now, I love it. I think it's a great game.
Yeah.
It's a very engrossing RPG. They captured the world incredibly and the vibe, and making it in the 1800s so there's no Harry Potter baggage is refreshing. And it's a great game. It's a triumph for Portkey Games. It's deserves all the accolades that it gets. Now, there's been a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Sure.
I get people being upset at J.K. Rowling. I'm upset myself. Yeah, I don't agree with her views on trans people. Here's how I see it. J.K. Rowling is a billionaire, and whatever money she's getting from this is insignificant to her. The people who created the game, who wrote the game, this says she didn't write it. She has it's not Harry Potter and the Hunt for the Trans
Right.
Muggles, written and starring her. It's a brand new story, a brand new everything that hundreds of people worked on and
Yeah.
gave their talent and gave their blood, sweat, and tears to make this happen. And I think they did a good job. I also think it's one of the most quietly inclusive games that I've played. There's lesbian characters, gay characters, but it's not really pointed out. It's just, I gave my wife this. There's a trans character that runs the bar at Hogsmeade. And when you meet her, it's, eventually if you get to know her, she kind of, if you ask her, tells you what it was like, being a young trans student at Hogwarts and the people that supported her and the people that didn't. It didn't seem smashed in there or ham-fisted or whatever,
Yeah.
I think people who want to be mad are going to be mad.
Yeah.
And I understand them being mad. I understand if you are a trans person and this bothers you 100%, I get it. I think a lot of people are using this because it's a video game. It's an easy target because not a lot of people, not everybody loves video games. But this is a nuanced situation. This isn't, a thing that's just all about this one person and her views and her product and her art. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. Like I read the books, I've seen the movie. You and I watched all the movies. Mm-hmm. One of the weirdest experiences was we watched all the movies and then literally finished the movie, got up, went to the movies. And so we saw the last. It
was Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Yeah. And then we went to see 2.
And then we went to the movie theater immediately.
And the last scene is the first scene.
It was so crazy.
It was so weird to see. Anyway, I've enjoyed the books. I enjoy the movies. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. My thing's probably Star Wars. And look, I get it.
Yeah, you were also not the audience for the books.
No, I mean, I was in my late 20s when the books came out. But look, if all of a sudden George Lucas came out and was like, I'm a Nazi, and then you look back on his work and it's like, oh, there's all these Nazi illusions.
Which there are.
There are, but they're the opposite.
But it's saying they're bad. Yes, they're bad.
It would break my heart. And then I couldn't enjoy the movies because then the movies would be tainted with that political whatever. I'm in a very easy place being who I am, being a middle-aged white dude. We got it easy. Yeah. And I will never tell somebody not to be offended. I will never tell somebody not to feel the way that they feel at all. I will say that violence against violence is never good. Hate against hate is never good. You can get your point across without threatening somebody's life or saying they're the worst human being in the world or that they deserve to die and their children deserve to get cancer, these are literally things that people wrote to people who are playing the game. Singling people out. This isn't the best use of your time. If you want to be a trans activist, then let's go for all of these laws that are being enacted against trans kids, against trans people, against trans-affirming health care. Let's go to the real villains.
Yeah.
Not Portkey Games, who got an IP and made a game and probably started making this game before all of this controversy even started.
100%.
It takes years to make games.
Those comments were made in 2019, and I guarantee you this game was being made long before that.
And it's a very good and inclusive game. There is nothing anti-trans or anti-LGBTQ in this game. And in fact, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
So this is not, fine, boycott it if you want. Don't buy it, don't play it. I get it.
Sure.
But I think we can use our time better.
Yeah.
We can go after the real problems rather than this low-hanging fruit, this simple, it doesn't take anything away from you to sit there at your keyboard and be like, you're the worst human being in the world for playing this game. There's no effort. There's nothing. Yeah. It's just you being snotty.
Yeah.
You're not going out and protesting. You're not going out and voting. You're not doing anything to help the trans community by spreading this hate. You're doing the opposite. You're making the people that are prejudiced even more prejudiced.
Yeah.
You don't fight prejudice with prejudice. You don't fight hate with hate. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my soapbox. I wanted to talk about this a little bit just because it's been all over the place, and it's been bothering me that, here's the thing. all of these people that are on Twitter screaming about Harry Potter and the anti-trans propaganda, they're on Twitter. Twitter is owned by Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is such an anti-trans son of a bitch that even his effing trans daughter won't talk to him.
Right.
He spouts that stuff on his own platform, a platform which he got pissy about because nobody cared about his tweets, so he had them redesign the entire algorithm to make sure that his tweets are, the first. He's, go after him.
Yeah.
You're a hypocrite if you're screaming about Hogwarts Legacy while you're on Twitter.
Yeah.
You got to walk the walk if that's the case. Why aren't you protesting Universal Studios or go to Universal Movies? She gets money from every ticket that's sold at Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Legos, It's hard when a person who created something that you love turns out to not be the person that you thought.
Yeah.
I don't have any sympathy for you, JK.
Yeah.
Keep your billion-dollar mouth shut about that stuff. There's anybody who attacks trans kids or trans people, they're punching down.
Yeah.
These are the most marginalized human beings on the planet. So much so that people are legislating against them.
Right.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But it's not Hogwarts Legacy's fault.
Yeah.
It's not. And people who play this game are not transphobes or horrible people. They're just people, a lot of these kids just want to experience the joy of what their childhood is. Look, man, as soon as they release an open world Star Wars game, that's my jam, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't wait.
It's so much not Hogwarts Legacy. Her views are so much not Hogwarts Legacy or the books or the movies because literally no one knew she felt this way until she came out in 2019 and said a couple things. At the end of the day, to me, those sentiments are not in the books.
No.
They're not in the movies.
No.
They're not in this game.
No.
I disagree with her wholeheartedly.
100%.
But I don't look at... it would be no different than, George Lucas coming out and saying, yeah, well, the Empire was right because I'm a Nazi. And it's like, well, that's not the way the movies are. You made the movies that made the Empire look bad.
Yeah,
so,
you did do a good job, buddy.
And again, whatever, people can feel how they want to feel, and they 100% should be doing something about it. But yes, they are focused on the wrong thing.
I agree. And look, a couple of goofy old white dudes. Yeah, it's not, the best look or whatever for us to be, but we should be speaking about this. I think that we need more nuanced conversations about this stuff because it is not black and white.
No.
The world's a complicated place.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just want to be in Hogwarts in a magic place. They're not thinking about any of this stuff. And maybe they should. Who knows? But look, like I said, if you really believe this way, there is so many different avenues for you to go down that are going to actually help trans people.
Right.
You screaming about Hogwarts is not doing a damn thing for trans rights.
No.
Except virtue signaling and making you look like a good person.
Yeah. Making you feel better about yourself.
Exactly.
I mean, that's not helping anybody.
I respect the trans reviewer that didn't want to review the copy and the article that she wrote. I get it. And I respect that article. And I respect her choices. That's great. And she made her point, and that's good. That's fine. Right. Everybody can make their point. But we can talk about it, not scream about it.
Right,
and we can do it in a way that is civil, and we don't threaten each other.
Yeah, I've never had a loud arguing conversation with anybody about this game. Everything has been online.
Yeah.
It's been... I had a coworker just yesterday was like, so what do you think about Hogwarts Legacy? Are you going to play it? Are you even going to play it? And I was like, well, yeah, eventually. But it's like you shouldn't have to tiptoe around the fact that you think I'm going to turn around and just start screaming at you because you may want to play a video game. It's like they're a very loud vocal minority.
Yeah.
And they should be loud and vocal.
Yes.
But they should be focused on something that will actually help.
Well, yes. And I do think a lot of the people that are spreading the hate are just people that spread hate,
Yeah, they're just trolls.
It's not a lot of trans activists that are coming out and calling for the death of people playing this game.
No,
They're calling for a discussion about J.K. Rowling and what are the, I get it. There hasn't been a controversy about a game like this in a very long time. And what is so interesting to me is it's such an innocuous game.
Yeah.
And like when you actually play it,
right.
you know, it's for kids. I mean, it's not really for kids.
Yeah, but it's
But it's like it's a magical world filled with all sorts of different people. It's very culturally aware. It's very inclusive. You can even have a trans character if you want.
Well, that's how the books were. I don't are. I mean, you know, the books have done so much good, getting so many people into reading,
Kids
and
to
getting
read,
people
yeah.
into getting lost in these worlds.
They're
And,
fun books to read. They're good, you know.
It's really disappointing that J.K. Rowling feels this way.
It is. It does taint. You know, I would think twice before reading something that she wrote.
I haven't read any of her adult books.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'm not going to buy
private investigator
her
stuff. Yeah.
art.
Yeah.
Because I don't agree with her. But this isn't her art.
Right.
This is art based on her art. But this is a completely different thing with completely different people, and those people don't deserve to be lumped in with her.
Yeah.
And brought into this controversy when they've done everything they can to make a very beautiful, inclusive, fun, well done, engrossing game. Talk about fun around every corner. You don't get bored. I have been sucked into a game like this in a long, like to the point where I have to stop playing because my brain is, jiggling in my head.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. If I'm wrong, please let me know.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
in the comments, tell us why we're wrong, and we'll listen. We'll definitely listen.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty much out of time.
Good. I think people are sick of us now.
Yeah, we'll be back next week with Fatal Attraction.
Oh, boiling bunnies,
Oh
baby.
my God, it's so good. I'm so excited.
I won't be ignored, Adam.
No, you won't.
You wish.
All right, well, thanks for listening.
Boop. Here we go. Welcome to the Gen X.
All right, thanks for listening.
Put your man voice on. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Dallas, already in progress.